We saw Paul Heyman, and I want to get started with that, you guys. Paul Heyman came out and he wanted to clear things up when it comes to what we saw on SmackDown. Paul Heyman said he's loyal to both Roman and CM Punk, which means that, you know, he sounded like everyone thought he was choosing sides, but it sounded like Paul Heyman wasn't going to choose either of them, or maybe was going to choose both of them. We don't know because Seth Rollins came out and interrupted Paul Heyman, and Seth Rollins had a lot of good points here. Remember, Paul, Roman, he don't respect you. He uses you. You know, you're his errand boy. When he lost at WrestleMania, he left you for Solo to treat you like shit. You got power bombed through the announce table. CM Punk wasn't there. They weren't there. Neither was Punk, Roman. Neither of those guys were there to save you. And as much as I don't want to say that I hate Rollins, but I'm not the biggest Rollins fan. But he was right. Um, the thing that got my attention is that he said Seth Rollins said, I was there. I was the first one that, offered my services to you basically at War Games. And that right there got my attention because we've been hearing a lot of rumors. Seth Rollins could be the next Paul Heyman guy. What if Paul Heyman turns on both Punk and Roman and goes for, take Seth Rollins back instead? Very interesting stuff here. We saw, it looked like Seth Rollins was going to take out Paul Heyman. CM Punk comes out for the save. And now Paul Heyman owes Seth Rollins a favor. Ooh, Blood, get us started with this, Blood. What do you think is going on?
Man, now everybody in the sound of my voice, especially the men in this podcast, Toxic, get your ass back here. I have been saying for fucking months, true or false, gentlemen, have I not been saying it for months that we need a Seth Rollins heel turn? I have been saying that we need it. I have been saying forever from the beginning that if they were going to pit Punk against Rollins, there was no way the WWE fans were going to choose Rollins over Punk. There was no way it was going to happen, which means you would need Rollins to turn heel at some point, or the fans were going to turn him heel anyway, just like they did with the Fiend feud. And what's crazy about this is that you want to talk about swerves on the way to Mania, all the random title changes that have happened, the injuries, the Kevin Owens angle, all these things that have happened that have come out of left field, right? John Cena heel turn. To think we would get a Rollins, and I feel confident in saying that this is a Seth Rollins heel turn, or the very beginning of it, because nothing in this promo was a baby face. He did the normal shtick where he points out, everything he hates about them. Oh, he left you high and dry. Oh, he abandoned you here. Keep in mind, by the way, when Roman disappeared after Mania last year, he was still a heel. So yes, he abandoned Paul. But when he returned, he was a face, which people forget. That's what got me big on TikTok, was I predicted Roman's fucking face turn the week after Mania when no one believed me. Now I predicted Rollins' heel turn 5 months ago. I said the moment that these guys were going to feud, literally right before Christmas when we knew we were going into Raw and Netflix for this, I said there's no way that this feud ends with Seth still a babyface. It just can't happen. He's been too stale for too long. If you strip away, and I did a video on my channel about this the other day, if you strip away Rollins' entrance theme, you strip away the flashy clothes and the sing-song sing-along, he has no character. But Punk and Roman have character for fucking eons, built in, hardwired. A lot of that because of their involvement with Heyman over the years. Heyman has helped fine-tune these guys, really add in layers and details to their character. But Seth, oh Seth, you know who would really benefit from Heyman's guidance? Seth freaking Rollins. And I'll tell you why. If you have to come out every single week and you have to, what's the old saying, guys? If you have to tell someone how great you are, that means you're not really great. If you have to come out and tell me every week that you are a visionary, you are a revolutionary, if you have to remind me who you are because you don't believe that I would believe it, then you're just trying to sell yourself on the thing that you're selling. Because you're hoping that if you say it enough and you say it often, people are going to buy in. And I think we're at the point where no one's buying in. But this, putting his hands on Paul, pushing him, shoving him, literally grabbing him by the tie and saying, how much are you worth? What? Pushing him into the corner, about to literally violate Paul fucking Heyman. In the middle of a promo, he turned into a straight heel. And then out comes Punk to save him. And it turns out that he attacks Paul so he can use Paul as bait to get Punk's or Roman's attention. Because the minute that you hear fucking Cult of Personality, you see you see Rollins turn around and he's got that look on his face that says, this is exactly what I wanted. But even then, no babyface would ever threaten a non-active participant just to bait someone. That's a full-blown heel tactic. And not only did he stomp CM Punk, who's in the right here for trying to save Heyman and punish Rollins, but then Seth goes for the stomp on a prone Heyman and stops just short to play mind games and manipulate him, and now lean down and say, "Hey, now you owe me a favor." That's some heel shit. And now we can speculate, but I'm calling it right here, right now, because I already said it last week, and I said it on a video, and even Toxic himself, I'm going to give Toxic his props because he also called this along with me. The favor is going to involve Heyman screwing Punk and Roman over at Mania. And I think we're getting, like you said, Snug, our next Paul Heyman guy.
Yeah, but I have one quick question, really quick, before we move on to Toxic, because the people love Paul Heyman. They respect Paul Heyman so much. I feel like if that happens, people will just cheer for Seth Rollins even more instead of turning him heel, like you say. You don't think
But that's
that's
the goal. That's the goal. That's good. Because remember, we're in a day and age where baby faces are considered boring. Why do you think so many people turned on Cody Rhodes so quickly? Why do you think so many people are hoping for a Homelander Rhodes? It's the same thing here. When Roman was a massive heel, he got booed by most of the audience, but they fucking loved him as a bad guy. They loved Punk when Punk was a heel. It's just what it is. Seth Rollins will be a massive heel, but the appeal is he's going to be a heel that you like, a cool heel. That's the angle here. And Rollins can pull it off. If we can get a little bit of that architect back, mixed with a little bit of Monday Night Messiah, drop this bullshit sing-song along, get him back into a serious tone where he really feels like a threat instead of an afterthought every single feud he's in, then I think we are going to strike gold here by putting Heyman with him. I fully believe it. Heyman turns shit into fucking stacks, bro.
Yeah, not only that too, and it also kind of makes the match more interesting because I don't think anyone is really expecting or was expecting Seth Rollins to win. Everyone is expecting CM Punk to win. This is the first time he main events WrestleMania. He's gonna walk out with his best friend. What a moment! But then now it's like there's the monkey wrench right there. Seth Rollins
because
actually has a chance.
Could honestly go because I truly do not believe at all. I think the one person I definitely don't believe is winning. I don't believe Roman's winning at all. I fully believe Roman's not going to be the guy that gets the pin. But I tell you what, I fully believe that it's a 50-50 split on Punk or Rollins to get that W. But because of this brand new wrinkle, I can't fully confidently tell you who that's going to be.
All right,
but
Toxic.
If Paul Heyman does screw, it's Seth.
Let's hear your thoughts on all this, Toxic.
Like Blood said, I'm calling it for Mania. Heyman's turning on both Roman and Punk and going with Rollins. It only makes sense. I mean, if Seth's gonna do what he did tonight to Heyman and say that Heyman owes him a favor, that favor could be like I force you to be my wise man or my advocate or something like that. Make Seth Rollins the new Paul Heyman guy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Seth Rollins was also telling them, what is it going to take? What is your price to, to remove you from this situation? I think the favor could just simply be Paul Heyman. You're not allowed to be out there, which would be kind of, I don't know, but it kind of makes sense if you think about it, based on what Seth Rollins was saying in the promo. What is your worth? What is it going to take? I think Seth Rollins is just going to try to remove Paul Heyman from the match completely. That way, Seth Rollins probably has like a feeling that he has a better chance. If Paul Heyman is out there either on Roman's corner or Punk's corner. I think Paul Heyman is like whoever is in Paul Heyman's corner, that Paul Heyman gives them the advantage or something like that. But um, so yeah, so you're calling Paul Heyman to turn and go with Seth Rollins at Mania.
Yeet.
Okay, Tommy, let's go with you.
I am also going with Heyman to choose Rollins at the end of the day. Because at this point, Blood is absolutely right. If character-wise, anybody needs Heyman, it's Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
You take, as he said, you take out all the flashy crap that he's got, the song, everything else. What does he have? Nothing. He has absolutely nothing. That is why he needs Heyman. And how about we put some lyrics to this shit now? Paul Heyman guy. That's it. That's what's going to happen at Mania. And when it does...
Yeah.
And I am also going to remind people that this is the first time in 5 years that Roman is not coming out with Heyman.
Mm-hmm.
The first time in 5 years, the last 5 Manias, he has had Heyman by his side. This time he's not. Yes, that's what I meant. The last 4 Manias, he has had Heyman by his side. Right now, for this year, he's not going to. There's got to be a twist to this. And what better way to have this twist than for Heyman to go, you two have pulled me every which way for the past few weeks. This man has not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go to Rollins.
Yeah, that's true. And I wouldn't put it past Paul Heyman. I mean, Paul Heyman has a history of turning on people, even Brock Lesnar. One of his biggest stars ever that Paul Heyman has ever worked with,
And I do love the fact, and this might kind of turn his thought process as well with this to kind of put it towards Rollins. That little history lesson that Rollins gave him. Punk left 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Left the company entirely. As soon as Roman lost at Mania, he ditched for a few months and left him with your precious little Solo.
Yeah.
And what he'd do, he slammed him through the table.
Right.
Took him out for a couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah. No, that was a nice refresher, a nice little trip down memory lane. I mean, it kind of, this kind of reminded me of, the promos that Drew McIntyre cuts and Kevin Owens. Like, there was no lies being told here by Seth Rollins tonight.
Oh, yeah. So, during that promo, my immediate thought was, stop him when he's telling lies at this point.
Yeah.
Because right now he's not.
BT, what do you think about this?
I don't have any words. I'm pretty sure these three just took the words out of my mouth. So I don't have any words to emphasize on this. So I fully agree with all three of them.
Yeah, Seth Rollins is the next Paul Heyman guy.